It's never been done. It's going to need planning and a large crew. So you're going to need guns? Exactly. There's high security. But the take, what's a target? 8 figures each. What's the target? When was the last time you were in Kentucky? Well, the last time I was in Kentucky was now, because I live here and I can't leave the state. Fun. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Home Media Reviews. Today, we're taking a look at the remake of Ocean's 11 from 2001. Yes, this movie's a remake. Had no idea when I first saw this film. It's a remake of a 60s film starring Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr. And let me go ahead and preface this. This remake is better than the original. So let's go ahead and jump right into the history section of Ocean's 11. So as previously said, Ocean's 11 hit theaters in 2001, specifically on December 7th of 2001. I was 2 years old when this came out, so I did not see this film in theaters. I did, however, catch this movie, I think, in like 2015 or 2016. It was on Netflix, and I had never seen it. Thought, hey, it looks pretty good. I had heard good things about it, and I checked this movie out, and well, a couple of months later, I bought myself a physical copy because I loved it so much. The original VHS/DVD release came out on May 7th, 2002. There was a full screen and a widescreen version available on DVD. I don't know about VHS. I think VHS was only full screen. I know widescreen and full screen were available for the DVD. On February 25th, 2003, there was a collector's edition DVD. I'm not sure what's geared toward collectors here. I think the poster art's just a little bit different. This was a big gimmick back in like 2002, 2003. Check out the collector's version of this movie you already have. Okay, it's in a cooler box, I guess, but what's collector's edition about it? I don't know. The first time Ocean's 11 was released on Blu-ray was not by itself, was included in a Blu-ray Ocean's trilogy on November 13th, 2007. So this was an OG Blu-ray release. That might be why this movie doesn't look all that great. I mean, it looks fine on Blu-ray. It looks decent. It could be better, though. This movie came out individually on Blu-ray on April 29th, 2008. So if you hated the sequels, you couldn't not buy them if you wanted this on Blu-ray, at least in 2007, but by 2008 you had the option. There was a Ocean's 11/Ocean's 12 2-pack released on September 2nd, 2008. This was only on DVD. That's another gimmick too, the 2-packs. It's like, it's not the full set, you know? Ocean's 13 was already out at this point. Why would you release a 2-pack of Ocean's 11 and 12 if people know that Ocean's 13 is already out? That just seems like you're wasting money at that point. Then on May 19th, 2009, we got the trilogy in a DVD set. You can tell Ocean's 11 is a film that was included in a lot of multi-packs. And I say that because on September 29th, 2009, we got a 4 film favorites Oceans collection. You know, those 4 film favorite DVD sets that come with, you know, 4 films. I have a couple myself. I have the Blade 1 and the Matrix 1. You can usually find them at Walmart and Target, or you used to be able to before they downsized their physical media stuff, and when you could actually leave your house. I think it goes without saying that 3 of these are Oceans 11, 12, and 13, but the 4th film is the original Ocean's 11 from the 1960s, which I think is kind of cool, even though that movie sucks. On March 13th, 2012, we got another 4 film favorites collection, but this one was the George Clooney collection. This one included Ocean's 11, Michael Clayton, 3 Kings, and The Perfect Storm. I've heard of Michael Clayton. I have not seen it, though, nor have I seen 3 Kings of the Perfect Storm. Oh boy, Coming up next on June 5th, 2012, another triple feature Blu-ray set. Which is, again, the Oceans trilogy, just reprinted onto Blu-ray in a triple feature. This same pack was also reissued in 2013 with the same artwork. Okay, what is up with this? Okay, on December 17th, 2013, there was another 2-pack, Oceans 11 and Oceans 12, released onto Blu-ray. Why? Why is this a thing? I just don't get it, man. Oceans 13 is out. Why are you still putting out 2-packs? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's even weirder that this was a Walmart exclusive. Like, why? And then it was reissued later on October 28, 2014. What is wrong with you? Who released this? Warner Brothers. What is wrong with you? If anything, you should be putting out an Oceans 11 and Oceans 13 2-pack, because Oceans 12 sucks. But I digress. On May 13th, 2014, we got another Oceans Trilogy collection. It was another Blu-ray release. Yada, yada, yada. We've already bought the Blu-ray like 12 times by this point, Warner Brothers. Come on. But on October 2nd, 2018, here's something new. It's the Oceans 4 movie collection. Because Oceans 8 had come out by this point. And no, Oceans 8 is not a prequel. It's a sequel. It's an all-female reboot. Well, reboot. It's an all-female sequel to the Oceans movie franchise. It's fine. I think I bought it on like Black Friday a few years ago, and I saw it in theaters. So wow, Warner Brothers, you made a lot of stupid decisions when putting out Oceans 11 onto Blu-ray. And DVD for that matter. What the hell's with the 2-packs, guys? Whatever though, I only need the first movie. I like Oceans 13, but don't really need to own that. Speaking of the first movie, let's move on to the close-up of Oceans 11. Alrighty everyone, here's your close-up look at Oceans 11. Now this close-up is going to be pretty short because we only have one copy here to look at. It's honestly the only copy of this movie I needed. It's the original 2007 Blu-ray release of Oceans 11. So let's take a look at it here. Got your Blu-ray disc logo up the top. Cast list, starring in alphabetical order. I find that funny. George Clooney, Matt Damon, Andy Garcia, Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, Oceans 11, and you've got all 5 of those main cast members here on the front. It's not the most engaging poster, but it is nice. I like the artwork on this Blu-ray release. Beside Blu-ray disc logo, Oceans 11, product number, Warner Brothers symbol. The back has your technical specifications up at the top for both your main feature and your special features. Interesting, the special features are only in 480p and not 1080p. UPC code, blurb about the film, special features listed down here at the bottom, cast and crew info, copyright information, as well as your film, as well as the film rating. Inside, there was no digital download copy code included with this, yet you got your disc with the same 5 cast members as were on the front poster there. An interesting disc art, not too great, I suppose. However, I do like the Blu-ray case. It's the hard Blu-ray case. It's not, you know, like the cheap Blu-ray cases that have the recyclable logo right there and it's cut out and it doesn't protect your disc at all. This is not one of those cases, and I really like that. So that concludes your close-up. Let's move on to the menu tour. Alright folks, here you are for a menu tour of Oceans 11, and since this is the original Blu-ray release, this movie doesn't really have a menu per se. It kind of does, but when you first put the movie into the player, the movie just starts. It doesn't bring you to the menu. You have to manually go to this menu here. And as you can see, the menu is really bare bones. There's not really a lot here. You got behind the story, which is commentary by Matt Damon, Andy Garcia, and Brad Pitt, and then commentary by director Steven Soderbergh and screenwriter Ted Griffin, or you can turn the commentary off. So those are your commentary options. We've got a featurette, HBO First Look, the making of Oceans 11, and the look of the con. And we also have trailers, 2 teasers and 1 theatrical trailer, and then an online link. Visit us at www.www.blu-ray.com wbhighdef.com for the latest on Warner Blu-ray discs. But that's it. We don't have any language options here on the menu, don't have any subtitle options. You have to do all of that while you're watching the film. You also have a little option down here at the bottom to resume the film, which I am doing right here just as a little bit of research to see, can you get any other options pop up on the screen here? Okay, yeah, you got, so you can select scenes while you're watching the film. So you've got, you know, languages, scene selection, special features. Hello. So I'm going to play the movie here for just a quick second. Okay, so you can pull up the special features here. You can pull up the scenes while you're watching the movie. We got 35 scenes to go through here. They do not have names, which is a little bit unfortunate. And then you can pull up languages. And shoot, there's a lot of languages on here. We got English. The movie is paused, so you can't peruse the menu while the movie is paused, so I'm just going to read these off to you. We got English, French, Quebec French, and then French, just regular French, Dutch, Italian, Castellano, Spanish, symbols, and then just regular Spanish, and then subtitles. Jesus, that's a lot of subtitles. I'm not going to read all those to you, but God, that's a lot of subtitles. And then the menu just goes away. I did not click anything. So yeah, this is one of those Blu-rays that has like an in-movie menu. That's when that was the big thing. People thought that in-movie menus were really going to be a huge thing, and you could actually do that on Blu-rays. They're not as big anymore. People just don't really care. Not a lot of people are buying physical media anymore anyway, but it's kind of a relic of the past. I know I personally prefer just accessing all of my features from an actual menu instead of while I'm watching the movie. I don't really care about accessing them while I'm watching the film. This is an interesting menu, I will give it that. Probably the most interesting menu we've looked at here on the show, but that's the end of the menu tour. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions as always. Alright, so we're back from the close-up. Now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? You cannot find Ocean's 11 on store shelves unless you go to Best Buy. I saw the most recent film trilogy on Best Buy shelves for probably the last 2 years. Then when Ocean's 8 came out, they updated it with the 4 movie collection. So you can still find this in stores if you go to Best Buy. Although if you're living in modern times, you order it from Best Buy, go outside, and they throw it at your car because social distancing and all that crap. By the time this comes out, the whole social distancing thing, I hope that this is true, will be like over by then. So I'm instantly dating these episodes by even mentioning it. But it's crazy times I'm living in right now. It's, what's it, April, I think, when I'm recording this? Wow, I just dated this episode. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? Little bit touchy. I could probably say yes, but yeah, the most recent reprint was in 2018. Yeah, there are still copies floating around out there, but backstock, I can't really say yes to this. I'm sorry. Number 3, should you pick this product up? Yeah, Ocean's 11 is great. Like, no exaggeration. It really is great. The basic synopsis here is that Danny Ocean, portrayed by George Clooney, has just been released from prison after being nailed for a crime, but he's actually been implemented in several that the cops couldn't get him on, but now they got him. So yeah, I think he was in prison for like 4 years when this movie starts, so he just got out of prison. He's a con man, a lover of the classic heist, probably loves the movie Ant-Man because of its classic heist elements. Just kidding, Ant-Man didn't exist as a movie in 2001. Anyway, not seconds after Ocean is released from prison, he's already planning his next heist because he's a con man. He probably loves Ant-Man, like I said, or probably Solo a Star Wars story. That film's kind of a heist. And his heist is pretty extravagant. Rob 3 Las Vegas casinos in one night and get away still breathing. The strength of Ocean's 11 really comes from the characters and how the director is able to characterize them in unique and interesting ways. Linus, Ruben, Basher, Casey Affleck, and Scott Conn. I can't remember their names, but they're all great here. It's really fun to see all these great actors assembled on screen and just have fun in Las Vegas. That's really the best way I can tell you about Ocean's 11. It's just straight fun. And the world that Steven Soderbergh, the director of this movie, crafts is so great. This movie has a certain class to it, honestly. I love every single shot in Vegas because they actually shot on location. That's very important if you want to go to Vegas. Or if you want to shoot in Vegas, you have to make it look like you're actually there. Vegas looks beautiful in this movie. I love that whole nightlife feel mixed with the Elvis, a little less conversation, a little more action song. This movie actually introduced me to that song. I hadn't heard it in full until I watched this movie. And I love that song now. Thanks, Ocean's 11. You really got me hooked on that. So our main cast of characters, great. Each one of them feels independent from one another. I can tell each person apart. I can tell Ruben from Saul. I can tell Linus from Casey Affleck. I can tell everyone apart. It's great. A movie is nothing without a good villain, and Andy Garcia, as Terry Benedict here, he's a great villain. He's characterized to be ruthless in this movie, and he is. He lives up to that name. And I love how this movie is set up. It begins with George Clooney getting out of prison, as I mentioned, then he starts planning his next heist. He goes to get Bernie Mac, then he goes to California to his old pal Rusty, played by Brad Pitt. The first, 45 minutes of this movie is literally just setup, but it's so fun setup. It's a good, energetic feeling that it doesn't feel like setup. It feels like you're having a good time. And then once the heist actually goes down, it's really entertaining to watch. It's over the top, but it makes sense, kind of. I really love the twist that happens about 3/4 of the way through the movie when it's showed how the heist actually went down. I won't spoil it here for anyone who hasn't seen this movie yet, because honestly, it blew my mind the first time I saw this. So just letting you know, there is a twist about how the heist goes down, but man, is it good. I really don't have any flaws with this movie. I can't think of anything that's wrong with Ocean's 11. It's got great characters, an intriguing story. The exposition is fun to listen to. Just the dialogue is fun to listen to. These guys just cracking jokes while they're on a heist. It's so good. The way that this movie is shot, everything about it, wonderful. I forgot to mention Julia Roberts. I don't hate Julia Roberts. I haven't seen her in a lot. This might be the film with the most prominent role that I've seen her in. She's fine here. She's kind of a jerk, but that's how her character is written to be. She's the ex-wife of George Clooney's character, and it's actually revealed about halfway through the movie that George Clooney is doing this heist to try to win back his ex-wife. I guess that's okay motivation. It's better than not having any motivation. I would have preferred it if he was just like, hey, I'm a con man. I like doing stuff. I like doing heists. Let's do this heist. And then Brad Pitt's like, yeah, man, I'll do the heist. I'm eating. You ever notice that Brad Pitt's always eating in every movie he's in? It makes me want to eat something every time I watch Brad Pitt. So Julia Roberts, kind of a sore spot for me. I don't hate her in this movie. She's fine in her role. Andy Garcia is great as the villain, and I just have a fun time every time I watch this movie. It's a movie that everyone can enjoy. There's nothing about this movie that's like raunchy or dirty or anything like that. It's a movie that families can sit down and enjoy, really. And I highly recommend Ocean's 11. As I said, it is much better than that 1960s piece of garbage. Do not watch that. Watch this movie. This might be the greatest film remake I've ever seen. Honestly, I haven't really seen a lot of remake. I saw the Total Recall remake from like 2012, I think. That was garbage. The RoboCop remake from 2014 wasn't bad, but it still wasn't great. So I think this might be the greatest film remake, or one of the candidates for the greatest film remake of all time. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? If you can find it at Best Buy, cool. But I would honestly recommend you get yourself just a Blu-ray by itself, like the one I have. So look on eBay for something like that. That's where I got mine. And number 5, what price should you pay? Well, for any of the trilogy sets on Blu-ray, 10, maybe 15 for those. You get some extra discs in there because you have a coaster for Ocean's 12, and then a kind of movie for Ocean's 13. For the 4-pack, 15, maybe 20 for that. If you're a big fan of Ocean's 8, I guess you'll want that. 2-packs, don't buy those. Those are dumb. And then for the individual Blu-ray, I'd say 5 to 10. I think I paid about $6 for mine, and it's in pretty good shape. I recommend that one because you don't get any of the bad sequels. They're not all bad. Ocean's 12 is just the worst. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my HMR for Ocean's 11. I think I rediscovered a new love for this movie. Everything about it, I just enjoy every single time I watch it. So, ladies and gents, the season is almost over, unfortunately, but we have 2 more episodes before we wrap things up. And next week, we're switching gears again. If we went from a gritty, hard R-rated throwback to pulp magazines to a heist movie, then let's go from a fun heist movie to an animated kids film. This was probably one of my favorite movies as a child, and I have fond memories with it. I have not seen it in a while. I'm covering the original SpongeBob SquarePants movie next week. I've had the Blu-ray for a while. I watched it when I first bought it. It looked fantastic, and I'm excited to rewatch it again. With that all being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, good night, everybody.